guys, I'm here, Russian in Haifa, and this time I want to talk to you about things that I think you need to do or need not to do in Israel if you're a foreigner. So first of all, I will talk about some practical tips that might be obvious for you, but others might not be so obvious. And then I will talk about some cultural stuff, which is more fun probably. So, what I think of is that first of all some tips relate to summer, because summer is absolutely furious here. It's very, very hot. First of all, take your sunscreen with you. You need it, you will need it all the time, starting from around April. For me, for example, I have white skin, you see, and starting from April I need to use a lot of sunscreen. Otherwise I'll get burned, which I did several days ago. Moreover, you need to have a water bottle everywhere you go. It's very important so that you don't get a headache. That's what every Israeli will tell you, and that's what I'm telling you too, as I'm an Israeli now. There is something less obvious and still important here. In summer, take something warm with you. Take warm clothes if you are going to stay somewhere indoors, but not in your home. Why? People here use air conditioning in the summer, and because outside it's very hot and inside they put on the air conditioning, the contrast is serious for you. You will not be ready for it. So take warm clothes, take a sweater, and use it if you find yourself under the air conditioning freezing. I didn't think I would freeze in summer in Israel, but I did many times. So yeah, take it with you everywhere you go. There are some other practical tips that you might use when you travel. For example, use earplugs. Take your earplugs with you. Israelis, please don't be offended, but the country is pretty noisy, especially if you're not used to it. If you're staying in a youth hostel in the city center, like I live in the city center, it will be very noisy at night. There will be nightclubs, there will be people shouting under your windows, there will be dogs barking, there will be all kinds of noises, especially people shouting for some reason. People like to shout. So yeah, use your earplugs, take them with you when you travel. And the last practical tip that I will give you, yes, a very, very, very important one. Mind Saturdays and public holidays, because they are not the same as in your country. Saturdays are kind of tricky. Shabbat is not the same as a Saturday actually, because Shabbat starts somewhere close to the evening on Friday and ends on Saturday evening, which means that everything will be closed from Friday evening to Saturday evening. Many shops will be closed, many cafes will be closed, and in many places, unfortunately, public transportation won't work. In many cases, this doesn't concern Haifa, where I live, because it's a pretty secular city and there's a lot of public transportation on Saturday. For example, today is Saturday and I'm here at the seaside and I got here. So there is public transportation, but usually in many cities there is none. Which leads me to another very important tip, the last practical tip for today, which is use Monit Shirut. I will give you some information about it down below in the description. Monit Shirut is translated as a service taxi, and it's a small bus that goes from a big city like Haifa to another big city like Tel Aviv and leaves when it's full. So you can contact them, or you can just come to the place where they leave from and use it to go from Haifa to Tel Aviv, or from some other place to another place. It's very important because there will be no trains on Saturday. Okay, there's the fun part too, cultural tips. There are some cultural tips that I would like to share with you, because I think they're pretty important too. So, first of all, when you go to a meeting or when you go to an interview or when you go to work, dress casual. I heard a story about I think it was an American teacher who taught English here, and on his first day in the school, he put on a suit and a tie. Well, you know, kids, they don't come up to you and tell you. People don't do it here. They just laugh at your back. So that's what they did. They laughed at his back. Dress casual. Don't put it on a suit and a tie unless you're some very, very high official. People don't do it here. Another tip that you might find useful, which I'm not doing now, as you see, when you're going to some important meeting or, I don't know, an interview where someone depends, the outcome depends on how you act, cover your shoulders. Because that's what I was told by some people here. If the person you're talking to is religious, they might find it offensive if you don't cover your shoulders. So just do it. Like, it doesn't mean that you had to wear long sleeves. No, you don't have to. Just wear short sleeves. It's gonna be enough. Just cover your shoulders. Okay, and the last thing that I'm going to tell you, and I think it's pretty important and fun, talk to people. Like, for anything. People really love to help other people. Ask for recommendations. It's okay to ask for recommendations. It's okay to give recommendations. Everyone does it here. So especially if you're looking for a job, that's what people do here most of the time. They ask around. And the country is pretty small, so there are high chances that you know someone who knows someone who will invite you to an interview. That's what happens here, and that's what everyone does. Like, when you're looking for a job, first of all you talk to people, and only then you go to LinkedIn or other services for job search. So yeah, that's it. I hope you will find this stuff interesting and useful. Come here to Israel and see for yourself. Yeah, maybe one more thing. As for English speakers, in general speaking English here, they say that Israel is a very English-speaking country. There are many people who speak English around. As I'm in a school, I know how high schoolers and junior high schoolers learn English. There are some of them who don't speak it almost at all, but there are many of them who actually leave school knowing English at a very, very advanced level. So there are many people around who speak English well, and many events where you will go are English friendly. So don't worry about that. Come here and enjoy your stay and maybe your aliyah. See you next time. Ouch! It's cold! Ow, 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 ow.